Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerdlings of all ages, we are here on Ohana, WCS Ohana, for game number 3 in an epic TVP lower bracket best of 3 here at the European Continental Finals. We have spawning in the bottom right position. Will he be able to take game 3 and perform the upset? The Italian stallion, ladies and gentlemen. We have StarEagle. And he's going to be going up against the people's champion, very, very incredibly talented player, able to take games off absolutely anyone in the world, leveling the series 1-all. Can he make it 2-1? Let's hear it for Grubby. So, an incredible series so far. I don't think we've had a single 2-0 series all day on this stream. We've been incredibly lucky. And I hope this continues. Well, it will continue. We still have at least one more game after this one. So, guys, don't go anywhere. After the end of this best of 3, we have to do the lower bracket round 4 as well before these streams close. And we've booted over to mainstream, who will be casting the rest of the games tonight and tomorrow. But so far, I think the games here, suffice to say, have been really, really awesome. So at the moment we have the barracks being popped down for StarEagle, nothing too out of the ordinary. Once again, no gas being taken, so he's going for the one racks expand perhaps again. Will we see him transition into an all-in, which won him game number 1? I don't know, but Grubby no doubt is going to have that kind of play in the back of his mind. Gas finishing now for Grubby, wanting to get that up ASAP. The gateway now nearly done as well, and both players having a worker in the other's base. Grubby going to be as annoying as humanly possible, or as Protosly possible, with this probe, and he's actually going to get an SCV if he's not careful. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That was about as close as it could possibly get. The other SCV actually running past now as well. Grubby so close to getting an SCV kill. He did not want to have to deal with this kind of thing. Did StarEagle. Grubby being so cost effective, looking for that SCV with 5 hit points, and StarEagle not giving it to him, although there is one here not really doing anything on a smoke break behind the mineral lines. Hopefully that will get sorted very quickly. So Grubby trying to put his opponent off early on in the game here, as StarEagle is going for a bunker, but this is very much a fake push. I think Grubby can very safely just destroy the bunker, or even just not even bother and let the Zealot do the work and have the probes go home at this point. StarEagle is not going for a very quick 2 racks, although Grubby probably should be scouting just to double check that a proxy racks isn't there, but I suspect he knows it's not. The bunker has just been cancelled, and the offense from StarEagle has stopped for now. So a good little bit of offense there from StarEagle. Grubby now doesn't know if he's going to be 1-basing or 2-basing it, because he did see a bunker try to go up, so maybe there'll be lots of Marines revealed later on, but he hasn't seen the natural expansion where the command center has just gone down. And we even have a bunker going up as well, so StarEagle playing very, very safe opening here in TVP. 1 racks expand. He got 2 bunkers so far in every game. Hit the ramp to his natural expansion. No reason to suspect he won't get 2 this game, although he can probably make do with 1. And behind this, he's getting his 2nd barracks and both of the gases in his main. Things looking pretty darn chilled out here on the Terran half of the map at the moment. Going to be chrono boosting another stalker out is Grubby. He currently has 2 stalkers, so a 3rd one should allow him to annoy a couple of Marines at the very, very least at this point in the game. We even have a stalker here taking a lot of fire, but oh, very nice, picking off 2 Marines from StarEagle. That is not something he wanted to happen there. This bunker only has a single Marine in it. Grubby might even be able to poke up and just get a good look as what's going on as well. Is he going to move straight away once the bunker's done? No, he realizes there isn't much in there, and he's going to be moving in with these 2 stalkers, preventing mining at the natural. That's a great move there from Grubby, realizing that StarEagle does not have enough Marines to fill this bunker, because he killed 2 of the Marines at the watchtower so early on. And Grubby playing absolutely sublimely at the moment. It really is impeccable skill. 3 gateways on the way now. Going to be transferring some probes down to the natural nexus, and I would not be surprised to see a robotics facility pop out very shortly. And look at this, StarEagle even having to lift the orbital command at the natural. This is not what he wanted to do. And, oh, very, very... Oh, Grubby tried to micro that stalker out of the way so that the bunker would focus fire on the other one. Not able to do it. Was it worth a stalker, though? I think so. Half of that orbital command is now destroyed. And it delayed StarEagle's mining at his natural expansion for so unbelievably long. Really, really nice stuff there from Grubby. In the meantime, StarEagle now has started stim. He's getting a factory in addition to a reactor on one of his barracks, so this could potentially be a starport later on, grabbing an engineering bay as well. But StarEagle must have been thrown off his game at least slightly because he wasn't able to mine from the natural expansion for a reasonable amount of time there. That would not please him one bit. He's got a Marauder without concussive shell and a bunch of Marines now moving out across the center of the map. Grubby may want to move that Stalker, and yes, there we go. He manages to get away with it, no problem whatsoever. Going to be grabbing the gases at his natural expansion as well, while the robotics facility just completes that first observer. He's going to be moving in, seeing exactly what StarEagle has to offer. Grubby currently up 61 to 52 supply, and he's a slight worker advantage, 43 to 47. With mules, that should more or less even out, with possibly the slightest advantage to StarEagle, but not if Grubby continues chrono boosting a whole bunch of probes. He's been very, very spot on as far as his macro is concerned this far in the game. In the meantime, Observer going to be heading down the right-hand side of this map. We see the starport and the factory both producing stuff. The starport, of course, in the process of being completed. The reactor on the factory about to finish as well. So it looks like we're going for very heavy biocomposition coming out from StarEagle. Pretty standard against Protoss these days. We don't often see mech against Protoss, although I still think when people pull off those builds, it's really frickin' cool to watch. But we're not going to be seeing any of that here so far. The Observer from Grubby sees that those reactored medevacs are going to be popping in very shortly indeed, and it looks like StarEagle going to be going in for a bit of a poke. Now, he has to be careful. He lost a couple of units earlier as well. He doesn't want to have to lose these two. 0-0 upgrades. Grubby also starting his 1-1, and it looks like, oh, yes, there we go. That is the third force field. He came very close to allowing StarEagle to move up with a lot of his Marines. As such, he's actually split the army in half. And really, really good reflexes there from Grubby to able to get those force fields in time. StarEagle is going to have to go home, no doubt about it. In the meantime, the first Colossus is on the way for Grubby. We do see that robotics bay not actually researching extended thermal lance yet. He prefers instead to get approximately all of the gateways at the moment, and why the heck not? He's got a Twilight Council coming down as well, and double forge chrono boosting stuff, so it's not like he's going to have too much money spare for extended thermal lance, although I would like to see that pop down at some point soon. More probes now being brought out, and he's actually possibly poising to take his third as well, getting a Zealot there just to make sure what's going on. And we see a scouting factory gonna be able, does he see the Colossus? Not quite. But he is going to park himself over there at the third base location. Nice positioning on this Colossus, able to try and poke away at units that come up the ramp. So I like that decision. The factory, I think, definitely did see the Colossus there from Grubby, and he's going to be moving further forward just to double check that, as we have a couple of medevacs out with the army now as well. Concussive shell and armory on the way, so it looks like StarEagle's going to be going for 2-2, but he's not actually making any Vikings yet, interestingly enough, so maybe he didn't see the Colossus. I'll have to wait and see what his eventual plan of attack is. He's getting his third command center down now here at the pretty standard location, and Grubby going to be going for additional units here, getting an Immortal out, still no extended thermal lance, so perhaps the Colossi not going to be featuring in his long-term plans. He starts chrono boosting out 2-2 as well. And is StarEagle going to be thinking about a drop here? No, he actually moves back towards the middle of the map. So he's not 100% sure what Grubby's doing at the moment, and Grubby is getting Blink as well, and those 2-2 upgrades are going to help him so much. So that's a lot of stuff going down for Grubby, even getting a Templar Archives now too. StarEagle, on the other hand, has a Ghost Academy about to complete at home. I would expect to see Mobius Reactor out fairly shortly. And we could be seeing some Ghosts on the field to try and contend with Grubby's army. Always a great unit to have against Protoss, and he's even getting ship weapons level 1, so the Vikings are going to be popping out in anticipation of Colossi. Wants to make sure that Grubby can't sneak a few on him, and now Grubby even building his Nexus directly underneath the factory. He does not care. He knows that StarEagle knows he's probably going to be grabbing a third base. That is not exactly news to him. He's taken down the destructible rocks as well, so it should be easier for him to defend his third base. And what's StarEagle going to do? The current supplies are 122 to 127, with Grubby down 54 to 67 workers. So StarEagle really been on top of his macro here, but Grubby getting a lot of tech. Psionic Storm is now about a third of the way complete, and 2-2 is nearly done as well. So Grubby researching pretty much all of the things. Let's see what he can do in response. 1-1 upgrades, of course, at the moment on these Stalkers versus the 1-0 upgrades on the bio. But concussive shell, and Grubby is forced to blink out of there. Good reactions there from him. Mobius reactor nearly complete as well, so StarEagle going to be mixing Ghosts into this army composition. We have the Colossus out here just sort of chilling out for now. StarEagle going to be coming in on the right-hand side in addition to a drop at the same time. A 3 medevac drop is not something to be laughed at, and this potentially could do a lot of damage to Grubby, who has his army entirely out of position here. A couple of photon cannons are able to delay the bio, but so much tech exists in the main base, this will not be fun for Grubby at all. And look at this, only now the Stalkers and Zealots coming back, picking off the Forges. Will he get the Twilight Council researching charge? No, he doesn't. Does Grubby get 2-2? Yes, I think he did. He managed to get 2. Did he manage to get 2-2? Yes, he did. Okay, so 2-2 did complete researching. And is the Twilight Council going down as well? I fear it might before charge is complete. And all of a sudden, a lot of problems being had. Your Vikings being landed at the third base, a lot of SCVs being taken down. And Grubby having a little bit of a problem with his multitasking, which is normally excellent at this point of the game. He is down 116 supply to 154. Excellent feedbacks as well on those medevacs. I think StarEagle knows he is not getting out of there alive. And Grubby does stabilize at 113 supply versus the 145 of StarEagle, but losing a decent number of probes in the process. 22 of them at the third and the main base combined, which means he is down 40 versus the 76 SCVs of StarEagle. So StarEagle so far impressing in this game. Grubby does have a lot of excellent tech. He's got those Colossi out. Still hasn't started extended thermal lance though. He had the double forages. He already has blink. He didn't have charge though. That was cancelled on the Twilight Council. But StarEagle just pulling off a really nice two-pronged attack against Grubby there. And it looks like he is coming back for more. Oh my goodness, could we be seeing an upset here? Will Grubby bow out of the World Championship Series to this next attack? He is rebuilding both Forges and the Twilight Council at the moment, and we have +3 ship weapons, 3-2 upgrades on the bio, and personal cloaking for Ghosts incoming from StarEagle. So the next attack forward is definitely going to be incorporating a decent amount of EMP. Archons and Immortals being mixed into this army from Grubby. A decent number of storms, and I'll tell you what, guys, Grubby might be down by 40 supply at the moment, but a good couple of storms can seriously turn the game around. Actually, positioning the Twilight Council and the Forges in exactly the same position they were before. Grubby is completely unfazed by all of this, and he is looking forward to smashing this head on as the fourth base gets taken from StarEagle while simultaneously moving the attack forward. All very good stuff, but Grubby is going to have to be in position and ready. He has a decent amount of army at his third base, and it looks like StarEagle is going to move straight in. Are we going to see EMPs? Oh, excellent transform there to an Archon. Dodging a few of those EMPs, but some of them still able to get out. And we have a few more storms coming up. A StarEagle deciding to change his plan of attack, going into the natural expansion instead. The Ghost drawing the army out and actually storming a lot of his own units there is Grubby. Could this be the beginning of an excellent storm on that bio? That's exactly what he needed, but the natural expansion has now gone down, and StarEagle is going into the main base with a lot of that bio composition. Great storm once again, killing off a lot of those mortars. This entire army is so close to death. Grubby is not out of this, and I think those storms might have been a little bit too much. Picking up in the medevacs, trying to leave. Do we see a blink forward? Do we have a blink? No, it doesn't look like at this time. A couple trying to get out. Very nice. One of those medevacs does go down, and StarEagle is forced to abandon this attack. 154 to 148 supply. The natural expansion rather has been taken down as far as Grubby is concerned. However, StarEagle lost so much of his army right now. If we take a look at the units lost tab, StarEagle has now lost more than Grubby, and I'm pretty sure that was not the case beforehand. So Grubby is going to be able to move forward and try and do as much damage as possible. A lot of medevacs went down as well, and Grubby might be able to win the game with this next push. He has a lot of energy on his sentries. He has High Templar Archons, and do we have Colossi with this army at the moment? We do not, but we do have those Archons. We have those Psionic Storms available as well, and this Gateway army is just looking pretty darn fearsome indeed. So StarEagle perhaps overextending just a little bit. Grubby able to get a good amount of damage on this. Fourth base is most definitely going to bite the dust, and StarEagle now is going for the counterattack with the SCVs. Grubby sees this. What's he going to do? He needs to land an excellent storm. Oh, pardon me. He needs to land a storm on this bio army when it's coming up. Is it going to be enough? No. He gets cornered. The High Templar gets cornered. Very, very nicely played there by StarEagle, but now he is moving up into the main base of Grubby, and Grubby actually is turning around with his army. He's going to be heading up too, and the natural expansion, ooh, very nice, actually getting the cancel there, it does Grubby, but once again, StarEagle, only one medevac, and he's stimming so much on this barrel, he has to do all of the damage very, very quickly indeed. And Grubby's army is now powering through StarEagle. But look at this. All of this army is in the red, but he doesn't care. He's on a suicide mission right now. Charge is going to finish at the Twilight Council in 3, 2, 1. There we go. And now Grubby is going to be able to take StarEagle to town, but has StarEagle done too much damage? We have another drop going on in the right-hand side at the third base location with these Vikings. Is it too much? Grubby now down to 97 supply, but also completely decimating the army of StarEagle. He needs, right now, to move against StarEagle and try and pick apart the third base and the natural expansion. He needs to destroy StarEagle with what he has, and he needs to do right the heck now. StarEagle sent a lot of SCVs with that attack, but he's already back up to 74. Grubby's still on 25. So the onus is on Grubby to do damage to StarEagle to stay alive in this World Championship Series at the moment. Will he be able to do it? I'm not sure, because StarEagle already has an army out in the center of the map. 3-2 upgrades, and he has those ghosts with EMP out. Grubby had a great counter-attacking chance, but instead choosing to go home. StarEagle making the correct decision just to send in his bio and do a second wave of damage to Grubby, and now Grubby is hobbling along in this game. He is making 2 Nexi at once, so he's getting his 4th base in addition to rebuilding his natural expansion, but he simply doesn't have the probes at the moment to deal with this as StarEagle moves up to 183 supply. Excellent EMP on so many of those units. He's just powering straight through the storm. He doesn't... Look at these storms! Jesus Christ! Grubby may have just reduced the deficit. He has gone back up to 87 supply versus the 106 from StarEagle. StarEagle getting a little bit overzealous in his play there, and are we going to see the beginning of a comeback from Grubby? That was unbelievable stuff. The Archon doing so much splash damage, and StarEagle now dropping to below Grubby's supply. Was that one move the difference between life and death in this match? I did say earlier on in the game, ladies and gentlemen, you remember me saying this, that a couple of good storms really do make the difference in situations like this in TVP, and I don't think I've seen a sicker series of storms than what Grubby just did. I think he may have just turned the game on its head. Either side can now win. Pulling all of the SCVs is StarEagle. He wants to try and finish this now, getting a good choke point. Is this going to be enough for Grubby, or is he waiting for reinforcement units to pop in? It looks like he is waiting. A lot of SCVs with this attack. Grubby has now forfeited his 4th base, and I don't know what's going to happen now, ladies and gentlemen. We have a couple of Zealots moving around the 3rd and 4th base locations here. I'm going to try and harass StarEagle. Notice that this base is no longer here thanks to that observer and a couple of units down here as well. And it could well come down to this fight. 91 to 99 supply. That scan not quite able to get the observer. Really, really nicely played there from Grubby, moving the observer southbound as soon as he saw that was possible. And another storm potentially coming through. He's trying to tempt StarEagle into turning around. He has a storm on that High Templar. Is he going to be able to do it with charge on their Zealot? And here we go. The High Templar is getting to within range. He needs to be oh so careful. 1 storm goes down, 2 storms go down, and most of the rest of StarEagle's army is now going down. 87 supply to 64, and Grubby looks like he might be on the verge of winning game number 3 here. I don't think anyone would have predicted that 5 minutes ago. This is unbelievable. StarEagle cannot afford to overstim because the medevacs just aren't there. He has a lot of barracks. He can try and rebuild, but Grubby has the standing army. He has the splash damage in the form of the Archons, and he is mining more than StarEagle at the moment as well. That is going to be oh so crucial. These Vikings trying to do a little bit more damage, but 2 out of 4 of them immediately go down. And a couple of Stalkers will be able to fend that off, no problems whatsoever. Grubby needs to seriously start thinking about a kill move. He is up to 103 supply versus the 57 of StarEagle. What a back and forth game we have seen here on Ohana. An incredible game number 3 between 2 very accomplished players. But how will it end? The Vikings landing and immediately getting slaughtered. StarEagle will not be able to do the harass that he's been able to do so successfully against the 3rd base to date in this game. Grubby sees the army coming as well with an observer there. So this is not going to take him by surprise at all. And Grubby looking for a good place to engage. The observer is right on top of the army right now. He needs to keep it there, hoping that StarEagle doesn't see the shimmer and scans to take it out. He does not. And now Grubby's going to be holding the watchtower. Grubby in an incredible position right now. StarEagle just overstimming and guilty of running into storms. And Grubby, with those 5 or 6 storms out here in this location, has turned the entire game around. I think more units have died here than anywhere else on any StarCraft map ever. It was absolutely insane. And StarEagle's getting himself caught between a rock and a hard place here. A lot of charge lots coming in, and it's very difficult for his army to get back. A lot of Archons as well, going to be able to do a decent amount of splash damage. Oh my god! 6 storms once again from Grubby. Grubby, and StarEagle is forced to pull back. He's now at 50 supply versus the 112 from Grubby, and I can't help but feel this might be the beginning of the end, leaving a couple of zealots to harass the STDs at the third base location and going after the army with the rest. I love this position from Grubby. One more storm, and GG from StarEagle. Ladies and gentlemen, Grubby has done it. He has done the impossible. He's come back from the brink, and he is moving on to the lower bracket round 4 here at the European WCS Finals. What an absolutely insane game. StarEagle had such a massive advantage earlier on in that game when he was able to drop at the third base and move into the main base at the same time. And the decision to move in a second time with his bioforces was completely inspired. He took apart all the tech from Grubby, did a really good job, but then when he did the follow-up, he made a bit of a mistake. He overextended, became overconfident, and all of a sudden ran into literally the perfect storms from Grubby. 6 or 7 of them, changing the course of the game, and then Grubby took the game by the reins and guided her home. So a very, very dramatic end to his tournament run here. StarEagle has had a tremendous run through the upper bracket and now through the lower bracket as well, but Grubby just about hangs on by the skin of his teeth. I am JoRoSaR. You're watching here in Stockholm, the SC2 WCS European Finals. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back with another game after this break. What an incredible series.